Hello, we had a great day today conducting a science experiment all in a day. Our class looked at the effect of wingspan on the distance a paper airplane would travel. It was a busy day and lots of activity. Today was a day that we launched the students into their independent science projects. And just wanted to share a little bit of information with you this evening just to give you an awareness of where this is all leading. So in May, there is a district science showcase that includes students from grades 4 and 5. 3 students will be selected from grade 4, 3 students will be selected from grade 5 to go to the district and participate in inquiry circles with other students from area schools to share their projects, talk about what they did, what they learned, and get feedback during that process. Wonderful opportunity for the students. So you have probably engaged in the traditional science fair project somewhere in your own career as a student or with another child. And that is one option for the students with this science showcase. There is a second option, which is for the students to engage in the engineering cycle to develop a project that is testing out a design that they have developed to address a question that they are wondering about. So just want to share a little bit of info with you to kind of get you started. So the showcase, the district showcase, for grades 4 and 5 is a little different from what we have experienced in our past careers with the traditional science fair. The students will go, they're not being judged as we were traditionally judged in a science fair. At this level, at grades 4 and 5, the students are doing more of a presentation of what they did, what they researched, what their project was all about, their findings or conclusions, and next steps that they would study going forward. Again, the projects can be an experiment, the traditional science fair type experiment, and it can also be an engineering project. So there are options here. There are options. The showcase is in May, and you can see here that it will be taking place May 24th and May 25th. So the students' projects would need to be completed by the end of April for us to use the rubric, the district rubric, to select 3 students from grade 4, 3 students from grade 5 to represent Jewett School of the Arts at the showcase. So again, though it says here that the district showcase is May 24th and May 25th, the students are going to need to have their projects completed by the end of April in order for us to have a school-based showcase, select students, and to move forward to the district level. Here's just a preview of what the rubric is that will be used to assess the level of the project that the students complete. So whether it is an engineering project or it is a traditional science fair type project, this is the rubric that the students will be evaluated with. So you can see the indicators here having to do with purpose, the scientific method, engineering cycle is there, collecting their data, how they present their data, the overall presentation of the project. Okay. So at this point, the first step is that of developing a question. What is it that the students want to explore? So today's question that we explored in our classroom had to do with what is the effect of wingspan on the distance a paper airplane will fly. So that's the question that we were exploring. We conducted research looking into aerodynamics, the forces that impact flight, and from that the students went forward in developing their hypothesis as far as what they believed was going to happen. So that is the first step is developing your question. And you can see here some guidance in developing the question. So you're looking at, what is it that you're going to be testing? So again, today's question that we explored was, how does wingspan affect the distance of a paper airplane? So our manipulated variable or our test variable was wingspan. Our outcome variable or our dependent variable is the distance. And what we're using, the item that we're testing was our paper airplane. So you can see here some examples to give you some guidance on how to form the initial question to be investigated. Another one here is, how does light intensity affect the growth height of a plant? Okay, so your test variable, your manipulated variable is light intensity. Our dependent variable or our outcome, what we are measuring, is growth height. Okay, so look forward to seeing what questions the students are going to explore, whether it's a scientific project in the traditional sense or an engineering project. I've heard the students talking about both, and so I encourage you to have a conversation. And truly, the best projects are the ones that are coming from the students and their natural curiosity. That's where the best projects come from. We do have the internet at our disposal, and there are tons and tons of project ideas out there, projects that other students have completed. There's so much out there to certainly take a look at. This is one site that I came across that had some good tips and things to keep in mind as you get further along in the project and you're at that point where you're looking at presentation. But again, truly talk with your students, talk with your children about what they are interested in to know more about. It may be something that we've talked about this year, or they've talked about in a previous year, in some summer camp or after school activity. Those are where the best projects come. As you're thinking about your project, do want to stay away from those things that are comparing brands. Like we don't want to engage in a project that's comparing one brand of paper towel to another, or which brand of popcorn pops the most. Those types of projects aren't the best ones to engage in at this point. So look forward to hearing the ideas the students have, the questions that they're coming up with. The next thing that you would do is doing some research. And for this process, the students do need to have a minimum of 3 references that they have resourced, that they have read, that they have looked at and considered as they are preparing to form their hypothesis, what they think is going to happen. And also these references become a source to come back to as they analyze their results and write their conclusion upon at the end. So again, at least three references the students need to have as they research, and be able to have those references noted in their documentation and on their board, their presentation board. So more info is to come. This is just to get you started, and I look forward to your questions and dialogue throughout this process. We definitely will be working on the scientific method and lots of engineering projects in school. The bulk of the work for this project is going to be done at home, though the students will have opportunities to do some work at school, particularly those things that have to do with using the computer and research. They'll have some opportunity at school. One last thing I will share with you as a place to maybe get some ideas. The students have looked at this site. This is a NASA site. There are a number of products that we have in our everyday life that are actually spin-offs from NASA technology. This is a great resource for your children if they are more interested in doing an engineering type project versus the traditional science fair project. This would be a site to take a look at. Here is another that's connected to the NASA site that will give you some ideas, spark some interest in some possible engineering type projects. All right, everyone. I will see everyone tomorrow, and I look forward to seeing those questions. And stay tuned. More info to come, along with the timeline for completion. Have a great evening and a super spring break.